how to make the narcissist regret losing you. Somebody once sang, "Regrets, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention." If that song were being sung by an aware narcissist, they would say, "Regrets, you can fuck that shit sky high." An individual believes that somehow they can occasion a narcissist to regret the loss of that individual. Narcissists don't do regret. Why? Because we're always right. Every decision that we made was the appropriate one at the time. Where a narcissist expresses regret, it's just another manipulation. Why? Because it came out of the mouth of a narcissist. Many narcissists will never express regret. Lessers, greater, and the ultra. Mid-rangers utilize false regret frequently. It's done as part of a pity play or a sympathy symphony, and is part of that assertion of control. The narcissist is not equipped to regret. Regret would slow us down. Regret would cause hesitation. It would cause us to falter in the pursuit of the prime aims of fuel and control, character traits, and residual benefits. And therefore, it is not something that we are equipped to have. And therefore it follows that since we have no regrets, you can't make us regret losing you. Where you hear a narcissist, a confirmed narcissist, express regret, you're being manipulated. Commonly, this is done as part of the initial grand hoover after you've escaped, where the narcissist is trying to draw you back in and penetrate your no-contact regime. I regret the way that I've treated you. I regret what has happened between us. I regret the way that you feel. I regret that this hadn't worked out. I'm so regretful for what I've done. I will make all of the changes. Sometimes this regret is issued as a preventative hoover to try and stop the demise of the relationship, where either you have said that you're on your way or the narcissist somehow senses that your departure is imminent, that threat to control is manifesting. Where regret is mentioned at that juncture, it is a preventative hoover designed to assert control and prevent the cessation of the relationship. Where regret is expressed following your escape, it is part of the initial grand hoover, or later on a follow-up hoover, again designed to try and perhaps draw you back into the formal relationship, or at the very least to draw fuel from you. Post-disengagement, a narcissist may return with a follow-up hoover saying, "I regret ending the relationship with you. I made a mistake. My head was turned by this other woman. She poured syrup in my ear and made me turn against you. I regret that ever happened." Horseshit. It's all part of manipulation. Do not be taken in by such expressions of regret. They are false and they are manipulations. We do not do regret. We cannot have that about us. It is not part of how we have been designed. And therefore, you will either never hear it, or where you do, it is a manipulation. Why is it then that some people who don't understand narcissism suggest that you can somehow make the narcissist regret losing you? Well, it's born out of one of two potential outcomes. The first is that this individual doesn't understand narcissism and is being affected by their emotional thinking. They're misguided, misled by hope, the desire of their empathic trait for things to heal and to be fixed, that their truth-seeker trait of getting to the truth of the demise of the relationship and what has really gone on. And both of those traits can be corrupted by elevated emotional thinking, which causes an individual to think that the narcissist can regret their behaviour, can regret the loss of the relationship as part of wanting to heal and fix. It might be that it's believed that the regret is as a consequence of the truth, that the narcissist will be able to admit the truth, and therefore corruption of this trait within the empath causes that individual to believe that that is something that can be attained. Sometimes it's the empathic trait of justice that's being corrupted. that the victim wants that sense of the narcissist silently sitting alone, regretting the loss of this individual. Sometimes it's a corruption of the narcissistic trait of pride. The victim thinks, you had somebody really good in me. I did everything that I ever could for you. I loved you. I made myself look the best. I cared for you. I bowed down before you. And yet, you've gone off with that. Or the simple fact that they've left. You've missed out. You've missed out on a good one here. And you should regret that. And therefore, in order to keep the victim believing and therefore thinking about the narcissist, which of course is a form of interaction which feeds the addiction, or repeatedly talking about it with their friends, which is another form of interaction about the narcissist which feeds the addiction, or checking on what the narcissist is up to see who the new person is and comparing themselves and thinking, you should regret losing me for going with that person. Or even contacting the narcissist to say, I did all of these things for you. You've lost out on me. You'll regret it someday. All of that is driven by a misunderstanding that 1, we do not do regret, and 2, emotional thinking wanting you to interact further with the narcissist to feed your inherent addiction by causing you to believe that we are regretting what we've done or that we will do so. Understand, that doesn't happen. It will never happen. And therefore, somebody suggesting that to you that you can make the narcissist regret losing you is basically wishful thinking driven by elevated emotional thinking. The second point behind this as to why this can occur is, of course, that you are being told this by an unaware narcissist, typically mid-range. The loss of the real victim, of course, labelled as a narcissist by the unaware narcissist, threatens the unaware narcissist's sense of control. And therefore, to assert control over the genuine victim, the unaware narcissist confronts them and says, you'll regret losing me. Their narcissistic trait of pride rises to the fore, but as part of the need to assert control over the genuine victim. And so, this unaware narcissist might also tell other people that they can cause the narcissist to regret them, and they're doing this because 1, they're asserting control over the people they're talking to, those listeners, and also indirectly seeking to assert control over the genuine victim who they perceive as a narcissist by saying, oh yes, they'll be regretting you, and this is what you can do. This bad advice that is being given by the unaware narcissist is driven by that need for control, also a misunderstanding about narcissism, because they're unaware narcissists and they think they are the victim, they think they're the empath, a need for revenge, a vengeful response of, oh, he'll regret losing me, or she'll regret, and this is how you make them do it. Remind them of what they've lost. The problem is this. Where we've disengaged from you, if you come and try and tell us you've missed out on a good one, all you're doing is presenting us with some fuel, which is what we want, but you'll be challenging us because you're telling us that our decision is wrong. No narcissist will suddenly go, do you know what? You're absolutely right. I've just disengaged from you, but now you come to mention it. I shouldn't have done so, should I? What a stupid fucking decision that I've made. No. If you try and point out to the narcissist, you've lost a really good person here, and you're going to regret this for the rest of your life, the narcissist just sees you through that lens of painted black. You'll be ignored. Third assertion of control. Or the narcissist will respond nastily towards you, saying, I don't regret losing you, you're useless, ugly, fat, completely crap in the sack, whereas I've now got this absolute stunner. And that'll anger you, frustrate you, and upset you. And of course, you will increase your emotional thinking by continuing to interact with the narcissist in this way. So it's important to understand that, first of all, you cannot make a narcissist regret losing you because we don't do it. Secondly, where any regret is expressed by a narcissist, it's false and is a manipulation. Thirdly, that those that tell you that a narcissist will regret losing you are either A, a victim, experiencing elevated emotional thinking, which capitalizes on their lack of understanding of narcissism and the corruption of their relevant empathic and or narcissistic traits, or B, an unaware narcissist who is expressing the view that you can cause a narcissist to regret losing you as part of their need to assert control over you, the listener, and over also their perceived victim. Finally, by urging you to take steps to make you believe that you can cause the narcissist to regret losing you, you'll breach your no-contact regime, and you'll disobey the first golden rule of freedom, which is once you know, you go, you get out, and you stay out. I have never regretted the loss of any of my primary sources or secondary sources. I disposed of them. I might be irritated where, in the 3 that got away, the circumstances of it, but I don't regret it. I'm more annoyed by the threat to my control, but there's never any regret for the way that I've behaved. No narcissist ever operates with regret. Anybody that tells you that A, the narcissist regrets, doesn't understand narcissism, and B, if they go so far as to tell you that you can do things to make the narcissist regret you, similarly, they don't understand narcissism, and they are advising you to take action which is contrary to your best interests. You will breach your no-contact regime. You will give the narcissist fuel. You will suffer an adverse consequence, and you will heighten your emotional thinking further by the continuance of the interaction, thus delaying your recovery and march to freedom. Do not fall into the trap of thinking that the narcissist will ever regret losing you. We do not, and we will not. This has been a Tudor treatment. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.